Could Leeds United lose current number one Illan Meslier in a move in January? It is on the cards, people. It is on the cards. I'm here to discuss that and the pros to this move if it was to happen. Before we get into it, like the video, subscribe to the channel, of course. Drop your thoughts and comments below because this isn't the first video we spoke about Illan Meslier, and I'm sure it won't be the last as we approach the January transfer window. Thank you to Mr. P, Cy Harris, William Morrison, and Malcolm Patrick for the super thanks on the last video. Much appreciated, guys. If you want to become a member of this beautiful channel, then the link is in the description. So let's get straight into it, people, because we're going to have new stories. We are in transfer season now. Even though it's not even the 10th of December, we are in transfer season, and Illan Meslier is wanted. Now, I've always said on here, it doesn't matter what you or I think of a player, there is always value for a player out there. No matter what you think of them, even if you think they're the worst player to ever have played the game of football, there will be a club out there that think, hey, I wonder what we can do for them. You know what I mean? But according to reports in France, Glenn Kamara's Rennes, as this report puts it here, wants to raid Leeds United again in January and sign Illan Meslier. And the reason for that is Steve Mandanda, who is still playing. I mean, shout out to Steve Mandanda. He's an OG. He will remain at Rennes for the remainder of the season, but the club are lining up replacements for him. And according to reports, it is between two: Walter Benitez from PSV and Leeds United's Illan Meslier. And in regards to this news, it's music to my ears. You guys know how I feel about this. And again, there's no agendas here. It's about making the football club better. And for me, it's been a slam dunk for this football club to cash in on Illan Meslier and upgrade him. And it can be done cheaply. It could have been done free in the summer. It could have been done on loan in the summer, and you would have saved money on this and strengthened the outfield at the same time and put money in the coffers. But for some reason, Danny Farker rates him highly, but according to reports, it could be a decision taken out of his hands as well. If the data team say, well, actually, if we get this money for Illan Meslier, we can actually improve in this position. And that's what the collaborative effort is. It is the manager that needs to have a say on it. But if the manager can see that, all right, I can see where you're coming from, it would be in the best interest for all parties to get this move to happen. Now, Illan Meslier's contract doesn't expire until 2026, but as you can see now, we're approaching 2025. When this season is over, he will have 1 year left on his deal. So we're not in the position to bargain like we did against Marseille in the summer, where he was looking for near 20 million pounds, which is insane to me, or 20 million euros, whichever way you want to dice it up, which is around 80 million pounds. I don't think we're in the position to do that, especially in consideration of Illan Meslier's stock. It has not risen. It's not like one of those where you go, okay, I know his contract's dwindling down, but let's go and get this goalkeeper. He's going to improve our team. It's one of those where Illan Meslier is been racking up the clean sheets, which is a team stat for me, and I'll get into another number in just a moment. But it's not like Illan Meslier's stock has grown. But as I've always said about Illan Meslier, I understood the move to extend his deal or giving him extension because he does have transfer value. Again, it's facts over feelings, isn't it? And he does have suitors out there now. It's not like it was back in the day where Man United were looking at him and various other top clubs. It is dwindled down now. The pool of clubs that are looking at him are a bit different, and Rennes is an example of that. And Rennes are a decent team in Ligue 1. They've got some very good young talents, one including Jordan James. And a couple of others. I don't want to mention them here because I'm eyeing one of them for a summer move for us. So strengthen the business connections even more, like we did with Glenn Kamara, where we near enough doubled our money for Glenn Kamara. And if Rennes are interested, for me, this is a deal that Leeds United must explore. And I'll go as far as to say this. It's not even one of those where if we sell Illan Meslier, it's a desperation to get a new goalkeeper. Now, that's the ideal thing to do. It really is. You want a new goalkeeper in to shore everything up. But for me, you're going from an average goalkeeper to another average goalkeeper in Carl Darlow. So it would be the same thing. The only thing that Carl Darlow doesn't have is the emotional attachment that a lot of fans have for Illan Meslier. So whenever Illan Meslier catches a ball or does something right, oh, he passed it to another player that's on our team, it gets extra marks, doesn't it? Whereas if Carl Darlow does it, it would just be, yeah, he did that. Whereas at the moment, everything that Illan Meslier does, you have to highlight it because he's a disaster of a goalkeeper. And I've said this before, and this is just me. Whenever there's a shot on target, or if a player goes through on the opposition team, I don't expect him to save the goal. And just going into that, Illan Meslier has the clean sheets, but the stats don't reflect well. And this is only one stat, people. I could have delved into a couple more, but I'm going to leave it here via this report here. While Meslier sits right at the top of the championship in terms of clean sheets, joint first with Sheffield United's Michael Cooper and Burnley's James Trafford, you delve a little deeper and it's a slight worry. Slight is very polite. Leeds have been able to dictate games, to control matches, certainly at home, and it stifles up opponents. It stops them having shots at Mellier's goal, and that's played a big part in Meslier keeping clean sheets. And that's nothing new. You know, I say that on like almost every match reaction. The more you can keep the ball away from Illan Meslier, the better. But here's the number, and it's no different from last season, people. There's literally been no improvement. So here it is. However, while Trafford and Cooper are two of the best goalkeepers in the championship in terms of percentage of shot saves, Meslier is way down in 13th. 13th, people. That's below the top half of the table, stopping just 67.5% of his efforts on goal. And this is it. This is the same thing as last season. Now, Hladecki for Ipswich, he was much like Meslier, very meaty, but obviously Ipswich bailed him out quite a lot. They had a lot of 3-2s, 4-3s, and everything else like that. But Hermansen for Leicester, he was top. You know, he was one of the best save percentage, and Leicester go up. And that's what it's basically saying for James Trafford and Michael Cooper for both Burnley and Sheffield United. They're getting a lot of the ball, but they're seeing very few shots. But when they are being called upon, their keepers will make you saves. But that is not what you get from this goalkeeper. And it hasn't been for a while. You know what I mean? This isn't just me talking. There's numbers, there's your eyes that back it all up. And that's why I just feel that it would be best for Leeds United to cut loose, get a fee for him. Now, what is that fee? I would say if we can get 10 million for Illan Meslier, that's a win at this stage for Leeds United. It would be a win for me. That 20 million in Marseille, that would have been a slam dunk, an absolutely unbelievable deal. But if Leeds United can get anywhere near 10, I'd be cool with that. What say you in terms of a figure? And I know there's going to be Smarties and McDonald's Happy Meals involved in the prices. Cool. But ideally, what kind of fee do you think you would accept for Illan Meslier at this stage? And also with that, I've said already, it wouldn't be too bad if Carl Darlow's the number one for the remainder of the season, because you're literally just asking the goalkeeper to do his business when he's called upon, which when we're playing, we're going to be, you know, possession heavy. We know that. But I've mentioned these guys before. I've got Martin Dubravka, who I think you could get, again, going back into that Newcastle bag. You know, he's not first choice at Newcastle. I think you could get him on loan. I'm sure Newcastle would love to get a portion of his wages off the books. There's also Dan Bentley, who I think would fit in very well. Very, very good goalkeeper, commanding goalkeeper, loves to catch a cross and everything else like that. He's not Wolves number one. He's not even close right now. I think he's third choice behind Sarr and Sam Johnston. But the one I would go for, if the deal was possible, is Jason Steele. And even if this one was a case of Brighton saying, well, we'll let him go to you, but we're going to need a fee, especially if you get promoted, I'm fine with that. I would absolutely love Jason Steele to be our backup in the Premier League, because he's a very, very capable goalkeeper. And the way Danny Farker likes to play, which is out from the back, Jason Steele ticks those boxes. He's a brilliant shot stopper, great at commanding crosses. And when you get that money for Illan Meslier, you probably put in a slither of money back into getting Jason Steele. You know, it's going to cost you money. Of course it is. There's nothing free, but you'll still have money to play with if you want to strengthen other areas. And we've already been linked with an attacking midfielder who's around 3 to 4 million. And obviously Leeds want to try and keep the cost down as much as possible. And I completely get that at this level, but there are ways to do it. And selling Illan Meslier, if you can get anywhere near 10, I think is a perfect way to get it done. And I think for Illan Meslier himself, going back to France and starting afresh there, I think it would be good for him in his career. Get a fresh start again where you've got no baggage, back in your home country. I think it would be great for Illan Meslier. But more importantly for Leeds United, it just makes all the sense. And if you can get Jason Steele, absolutely brilliant. That is it for the video, people. I will be back later today for the preview for the Middlesbrough game, or if you're watching this from a future, video, I did do a Middlesbrough preview, so check it out on the channel. Back for the match reaction after the Middlesbrough game tomorrow as well, so check that out as well if you haven't. Guys, give me your thoughts, feelings. Hit the likes as well before you go, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.